GDP is going through the roof. Jobs, real estate, houses, so many things are happening. We're opening it up. We have a V shape, and it's coming back. It's coming back very fast.
It's a K-shaped recovery. If you're on the top, you're going to do very well. And the other thing and if you're in the bottom, or you're in the middle or the bottom, your income is coming down. You're not getting a raise.
We're not in a V or a super V. GDP is not through the roof, not even close. The truth matters, but only if you hear it, and you deserve to. President Trump and VP Biden gave very different versions of the economy last night, but the facts don't lie. Layoffs continue to slow this recovery, and jobless claim trends are going in the wrong direction. Yesterday, they hit the highest level we have seen since August. It's no wonder that the economy remains the top election issue this year for so many Americans. So let's give you a reality check. I want to bring in Politico's chief economic correspondent, our friend Ben White. Ben, let's start with jobs. Here's what the president said last night.
We've created more jobs than this country has ever created. We're up to 160 million jobs. We were never even close to that number. We were just hitting 160 million jobs. Companies are pouring into our nation because of the tax rate.
What companies, where, are pouring into our nation?
Stephanie, if you're aware of them, I'm not. I mean, there's nothing true about what he said, other than the fact that the job creation numbers are, in fact, big, but there's a reason for that. And that's because we lost 22 million jobs. And as we reopened, we got some of them back, 10 million or so, but we're still only halfway to getting back what we lost. And these are jobs that are returning. They're not new job creation numbers. They're people who were furloughed or laid off, thankfully coming back to their jobs. But as you've mentioned earlier, there's still millions of people unemployed, over 20 million getting some form of unemployment benefit. So he's taking a number that is, in fact, true without context. In context, it's not very good. And the job creation numbers are slowing considerably. As you mentioned, jobless claims going up. So none of that is true. And these jobs pouring back in, I have no idea what he's talking about.
And a reminder, without a next stimulus package, we risk losing thousands, possibly millions more jobs, restaurant industry, airline industry, and of course, small businesses, of which we've already lost 100,000 in total. I want to share what President Trump said about VP Biden's tax plan.
Our economy is going to be next year, if we don't have somebody that raises taxes and quadruples taxes, which they want to do and kills everything, our economy is going to be phenomenal next year.
Ben, I'm going to give you a moment to get out your broken record. So let's be clear. VP Biden's tax plan will raise taxes only for people making over $400,000. For corporations, he's looking to go to a middle point back to up to 28%, which many CEOs have said would be a good idea. And the thing that sticks out to me the most, and maybe you can speak to this, what is this middle class tax cut that the president keeps referring to? He said they did one in the last 4 years and they're about to do more. I see none that's happened over the last 4 years, and he hasn't laid out any plan for a new one. Do you know something I don't?
I wish I did, Steph. I don't. But yeah, let me play the oldies here on this, because I feel like we've talked about it a billion times and he keeps saying it. There obviously is, no great middle class tax cut plan. He talks about it before each election, like everything with him is just around the corner, just going to happen, like a new healthcare plan and all the rest of it. And on Biden's tax plan, this idea that he would quadruple taxes and crush the economy is absolute and complete nonsense. Biden would raise taxes on those over 400,000, as you mentioned, corporations. Plenty of studies out there from AEI and others, not traditionally liberal think tanks, who say it would create economic growth and would reduce taxes on middle class taxpayers. So he's trying to scare people into this idea that the Biden tax plan would crush the economy. No evidence to support that. Plenty of evidence suggesting it would do the opposite, and that we need some higher taxes on corporations and the wealthy to help pay for stimulus and things that we really need to help those in the middle and at the bottom of the income sphere. And as for this middle class tax cut, he did in the 2018 tax cut bill give very small tax cuts to middle income Americans, and people did get a little tax cut, but it wasn't very big, and it was much bigger at the top. And
are you talking about the earned income tax? Are you talking about expanding the child tax credit?
Yeah, that piece of it. And also, there were slight tax reductions on, most earners, a couple $1,000 over the course of the year, which is not a ton of money. It's fine. It's good. But if you weight it to the very top and corporations, you wind up with what we have, which is exploding debt, exploding deficits, and not enough money to invest in the needs that we have. So, he can truthfully say he gave small tax breaks to middle income taxpayers, but not compared to the wealthy and corporations. And Biden, of course, would not explode tax rates or quadruple them or crush the economy or drive the stock market to zero. Nonsense.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.